Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. You sure?
Got hair on my leg. I think it's ingrown.
That's disgusting.
Well, it's not like literally ingrown, but like it didn't get shaved off, but it's stuck to my skin all the way around.
Okay. Well,
You're on live.
Yeah, we're about to. Okay. Here we go. In 3, 2. I'm gonna do just since I'm tired, I'm just gonna do the podcast and YouTube pre-race show. Just make them a hybrid and just have this be the same one.
Get it all out.
Get it all out because I also have to do
camera?
Xfinity. Well, it's just not working right now. I still have to contact tech support.
No, that.
Oh, that. Oh, it just goes out there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, what on earth is it doing now? Because I also have to film Xfinity pre-race tonight. So.
It'll be good.
Okay,
You got it.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to both the Below the Yellow Line podcast and the Spotter Stand YouTube channel. Because I'm a lazy blob, we are merging both the podcast and YouTube pre-race show this week. But Emily is with me live and in person, so I think that's a fair trade. So Emily, you can go ahead and say hi.
Also, when it's like after midnight, when we're finally having time to do this, I don't judge.
Exactly. It's okay.
We sometimes have a hybrid show. So hello to our viewers. Hello to our listeners. We're excited you're here.
We are. And we'll have coverage all weekend from Sonoma, live and in person for the Cup race. That'll be a lot of fun. And then I'm with Emily for the next week after that. So obviously an off week, which kind of sucks, but still plenty of live and in person. NASCAR Thunder 2003 and podcast and YouTube shows and just a whole lot of fun. We are going to Sonoma this weekend. NASCAR is also in France this weekend, technically, because they have their next gen car, Garage 56, which it's kind of like a 24-hour Le Mans, like one of the most famous endurance races out there. So NASCAR is going to that. They're taking an next gen car there. Jimmie Johnson is there. Going to be driving. Jensen Button, who drove at Coda, is also in it. And then somebody else whose name I do not know is also going to be driving that car.
Oh, cool.
So a lot of fun. NASCAR going to France and California in the exact same weekend.
That's very exciting.
Probably the first time that has ever happened. But going to Sonoma this weekend, we'll touch on the Noah Gragson news a little bit later. But let's look at the weekend schedule first. So practice is at 5 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. That's on Fox Sports 2. Qualifying at Fox Sports 2 as well at 6 p.m. Eastern. Xfinity race later that night. But the Cup race is at 3:30 Eastern on Fox PRN, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. First time in a while that Sonoma has been broadcast on Big Fox. I guess we can go ahead and look at the points before we talk Noah Gragson news. Ross Chastain, no longer the points leader. That now belongs to Mr. Ryan Blaney. He is the new regular season points leader by, 13 over William Byron. Bring our screen a little bit closer here. Let's see, without getting it in the frame. Yeah.
Sponsored by Google.
It is not, but
I'm really good at
you were really good at
some fake sponsors.
You really are. Can you see that all right?
I can see that.
Okay, good. I might ask you to read off some of the points list later, so that's good.
I will try.
Ryan Blaney is leading Byron by 13 for the regular season. I remember before what was the last race? Gateway. There were 6 drivers within 17 points of each other. It was insanely close, but now that race has kind of thinned out a little bit more. But Blaney, Byron, Truex, Bell, Busch, Hamlin, Larson, Reddick, Logano, Stenhouse are 10 winners. We have 10 winners through 15 races. 3 guys have won multiples. Those are Byron, Busch, and Larson. Byron and Busch have each won 3. Larson's won 2. First man in on points is Happy Harvick, 3rd in the regular season right now, plus 166. You have Chastain, plus 159. Keselowski, plus 96. Buescher, plus 86. Bubba plus 27, Bowman plus 6, last man in. Emily, if you want to start with Daniel Suarez there, and you can read the guys that are currently out of the playoffs.
Starting with Daniel Suarez, where is he?
Right. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Bowman's the last man, or first man out right now.
So start with Ty Gibbs?
Start with Bowman.
So Bowman is down by 188.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's the far right column. to the playoffs. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I didn't specify that.
That was he's down that from the leader.
Mm-hmm.
So Bowman's out of the playoff by 6. Ty Gibbs out by 15. Austin Cindric out by 33. Then Michael McDowell down 35. Corey LaJoie 39. Justin Haley 45. Todd, what's his face? 47. AJ Allmendinger 53. Eric Almirola at 62.
Ryan Preece, Chase Elliott, Harrison Burton, Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, Ty Dillon make up the rest of the field. But that's a good memory, Emily, because remember Almirola, that's where I told you to stop last night. That's where I think it kind of have to win. I think Almirola, Allmendinger, they do probably have to win, but 60 points out right now with 11 races to go is not unattainable.
I'd say once you hit Michael McDowell, everybody's kind of like hitting that kind of point.
Yeah, I agree. Chase Elliott, most definitely going to have to win. He is out by 98. Noah Gragson, I mean, he was in the must win anyway.
I thought he didn't even have a number right now.
Yeah, being out. Gragson being out this weekend, he's going to just lose even more points, but he's going to have to win anyway. Minus 170 coming into the weekend.
Oh, there's no hope for that.
It sucks that he's out.
But
Legacy Motor Club season just continues to be trash. And Jimmie's in France, so maybe he didn't have to hear about it. Maybe he still uses a not smartphone. Maybe he still uses like a legit cell phone. Yeah,
like a Razor.
And it can't accept international
old school
calls.
Flip phones for those of you born before the year 2000.
For you non-Gen Zers. What's next? I guess we can go ahead and talk about Noah Gragson. So the news broke earlier today that Noah Gragson will not be in the car this weekend. Grant Enfinger, Truck Series regular, who just won their last race at Gateway, is actually going to fill in. So I'm glad he has Sonoma experience from last year, or else that was going to be a sticky situation.
He's concussed?
Yeah, concussion-like symptoms. Haven't officially been out with it, or hasn't, I guess, been officially announced with a concussion. But concussion-like symptoms, obviously, enough to keep you out of the car, which is unfortunate. We haven't had to think about it. And NASCAR made improvements to safety this week even. Like the day, might have been this morning, they were touting new safety improvements to the next-gen car. And obviously the injury didn't happen today. It was sustained during Sunday's race when he had a brake rotor fail. But kind of ironic, but very unfortunate. I thought we were past this. It's disappointing. Now, I'm not going to go on a full angry tirade against NASCAR, but we got to get this fixed. We can't have concussion after concussion after concussion again this year. And it's not like Kurt Busch or Bowman where it just completely ruins his season. Because like you said, Emily, his season just wasn't going very well anyway. But it's
this
still
kind of seals the deal.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I assume he will get a playoff waiver. Hopefully he's only out 1 week, and I think the off week will help. So if he is out 2 weeks, then that means, or if he is out not 2 weeks, if they say, okay, no racing for 2 weeks, okay, well, he only misses one race because we have the off week. So sucks for fans, but it might be beneficial to Noah Gragson to have that off week and then come back at Nashville.
Give him a little extra recovery time.
Yeah, and if he can't, I mean, I'd assume they'd stick with Enfinger, who, of course, Truck Series regular. He'll be in Nashville that weekend for the truck race. Chevy driver, makes sense to go with him. I wouldn't expect too much out of him, though. Maybe top 30 would be okay. But Legacy Motor Club is just limping around at this point. Also the 15, Andy Lally, sports car guy. He's commentated a few NASCAR races, ran a few NASCAR races as well. So it'll be fun to see him in the 15 this weekend and for all 5 remaining road course races. What are your overall takeaways on this Gragson situation? Obviously, unfortunately, I guess you kind of already talked about what it means for his season, but what does it mean for NASCAR? We have concussions back again. I thought we were done. I thought, Kurt and then Bowman. I'm hoping we're done with this.
I mean, I think it just means that they need to continue to be looking at safety features and what's causing this and what do we need to change. You can't just settle with, oh, we think we've got it fixed. No, like you've got to test that and whatever. And maybe they are, I don't know, but something's got to change. This shouldn't be happening.
Absolutely agree. I know we've kind of already discussed it, but what can this do to Noah Gragson to make his season worse? How much does this hurt him? Again, like we talked about with Chase, having another guy in your car, but
and I think it's mental for probably a lot of it because he's probably already feeling down. I mean, he's ranked 32 in the playoffs, so it's like, I mean, he's already pretty much at the bottom, and then it's just like, here, let's slap you in the face one more time.
Yeah.
And it's different with a penalty when it's like a penalty that like you deserved than to get hurt.
Yeah, it is completely. And I think
out of your control.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too. And again, he's a rookie. I think that's you were talking about the mental part of it, and I think with somebody like Kurt Busch. Now, obviously, Kurt was upset, but Kurt Busch handled it relatively gracefully. Now, if this happened to Kurt Busch in his early fiery years, no, I don't think we would have seen the same reaction out of him. But he handled it very gracefully. I'm not saying Noah Gregson's not going to handle it well, but that mental part, that mental fortitude, if you will, he's a rookie. I mean, it's his first year in the Cup Series, and I don't want to rag on him too much, but he's been bad. I mean, Talladega was the only semblance of anything good happening for that team. No top tens, 5 laps led, 2 DNFs. It has not been his year, and he's a rookie. Again, that's okay. He's a rookie with a team that is struggling and is already looking forward to next season. But that mental aspect and being a rookie. I mean, you're not even halfway through your first full-time season in Cup yet when you're used to being in Xfinity and being a championship contender, winning races week in, week out. So I do think you're right. I think that mental part of it, and also seeing another driver in your car again, I think it's different with a suspension, a penalty rather than getting injured. But seeing another guy in your car hurts. I mean, that cannot feel good to see somebody else in a car that you drive week in and week out. But I think that's interesting to me that you brought that up because I think the mental part of it is a really overlooked part of injuries. Forgot to do this last night. Now I guess I'll do it here a little bit late. Owner points. This really only matters for the 48 and the 9. It'll matter for the 42 now. The 48 still in 15th, 9 still in 16th. Manufacturer-wise, the Votard Brigade still leads. They lead by 44 over Toyota, 55 over Ford, 11 back to Toyota. Chevy with 9 wins, Toyota with 4, Ford with 2. There was something. We already talked Cindric and Austin Dillon. We already talked that. What? Oh, 2311. So 2311 Racing announced something regarding the Chicago street race. Let's see here. I'm gonna botch this pronunciation terribly. The second Japanese driver to ever drive in NASCAR, Kamui Kobayashi. The last name is relatively easy. I believe it's I'm not gonna try. I'm not even gonna try.
Apologies for botching your name. Wish I knew how to.
But he will be in the 67 car. So if you remember, the 67 ran with Travis Pastrana in the Daytona 500. Third 2311 car, so that will be at the Chicago Street. Oh wait, no, Indy Road Course. Never mind, I'm an idiot. Indy Road Course. So he will be racing in Indy on August 13th. Be fun to see another relatively big name in the field. Cool to get another driver from another discipline.
I think it's always interesting when guys kind of cross paths like that.
It is, and it's good for the sport too, because maybe he brings some of his fans over, and maybe some NASCAR fans go over to his discipline.
Yeah, for sure.
Of racing, but since this is a Sonoma preview episode, I guess we should
preview Sonoma.
As crazy as that sounds. Going to our second road course of the season. Emily, I know you've only been a fan early since, I guess, it's called the Road Course Revolution started in NASCAR, where we have so many road courses a year.
And I don't like it.
Yeah, you don't. They make up a 6th of the schedule now when they used to be 2 races. It was always Sonoma, Watkins Glen. Before before Sonoma was on the schedule every year, it was Riverside or, it's really Riverside. Which is a beautiful track out in California, that beautiful piece of land. And unfortunately, they tore it down and made a mall out of it because America. But going to wine country, going to Napa Valley, beautiful part of the country. I wish we could run Sonoma in the springtime when it's the rainy season because, it's so dry and the grass is just dirt at this point. But it's so beautiful and green and in the spring. And we have rain tires now. We can race through the rainy season. Who cares? But going to Sonoma, who are some drivers? I don't want your win pick quite yet, but who are some drivers that you have your eye on this weekend? Give me 3 names that you think could be in victory lane.
Listen, I wish I had a better memory to know what I said last night. Let's go Logano, Larson, and
I can't remember.
I can't say. I'm pretty sure.
Harvick. You said Harvick.
I said Harvick, yeah, because I think we're on the cusp of a win. He's got some good point standings, but I really do. Now, that said, he's not my win pick. Hint, hint.
So, hint, wink, wink. I would say I like Harvick a lot. I'm not sure. I just feel like this is going to be a week where they struggle. I'm not sure why.
I'm just waiting. It's one of those, he's so unpredictable that I can't, he's had a good season.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
He's had a good year. He just, aside from Phoenix, he hasn't shown that winning.
We need to win. He needs to win.
Yeah, he needs to win.
Especially
Swan song season going out strong.
Playoff, top four. We need to win.
If he wants to have that Jeff Gordon 2015 Magic final season, now would be the time to kick it into gear. But my 3, I'm not going to put Chase Elliott on there, which is surprising, but coming off of suspension, I think mentally he'll be off. And I think after you don't, that's got to be a little bit rusty. I think he may
have an okay race, kind of like when he came back from his injury.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be a win.
No, I don't either. I'm going to change mine up a little bit. I'm still going to go Reddick and Larson, but I'm actually, I thought on this a little bit. I'm going to put Truex there because I think Truex has won at Sonoma 3 times. And I also think this year we are seeing a different Martin Truex. We are seeing a Truex that is actually in the top 5 more, where last year he would have been finishing 10th. This year he's finishing 6th or 4th. He's in the top 5 more. He has a win this year. So yeah, Reddick, Larson, and Truex. Underdog, give me... I don't know. Can we call Suarez an underdog? I don't know. This is a big race for Suarez, too, by the way.
I would say yes.
You would say Suarez underdog? Okay.
Yeah.
That's low-hanging fruit, though. Defending winner. Give me Buescher. Buescher's having a really good year, and he was second here a year ago. So give me Buescher as the underdog. Okay. But now, who is your pick to win the poll? And I guess you can go ahead and give your win pick as well.
I typically go with one and the same, though it never works out, just because why not? Larson, I pick him week after week. Oftentimes, he truly is an incredible racer, and for him, he's had some bad luck, but he has had some really, really good races, and I feel like when I don't pick him, he wins. So I hesitate sometimes to pick him because I want the guy to win, and so I'm like, if I pick him, he's gonna lose. But then I'm like, oh, I don't know. So I'm picking Larson.
Picking Larson.
Picking Larson.
Picking Larson. Well, 2021 winner, looking to get the win. I don't remember what happened to him last year, but
I don't either. No. But listen, he can do it.
He can.
The man can pull it off.
As a Bubba fan, I'm hoping for a much better race than last year. He blew an engine on lap 10. I don't remember what happened to Bowman last year. I think he finished 16th or something like that. My pole pick is gonna be. Give me Bell for the pole. I pick him each week, but that's because he won 6 poles last year, and he's a solid road racer.
And he's a B.
He is a B. But I'm gonna go.
Listen to previous episodes. Watch previous if you want to know what that means.
I'm gonna go with Tyler Reddick to get the win because he was dominant at Coda. I don't think he'll have to win this one 3 times. Sonoma is a very technical racetrack. It's not a track where there's typically a ton of big run-ins. Not a track, too, where it's easy to dive bomb in the first corner, but it's the modern-day NASCAR Cup Series. I'm sure they've figured it out. But I'm going to go Reddick for the win. And I would love to see, Reddick v. Larson. I think Elliott, I don't think he will run top 3, top 4, but I would not be at all surprised if Chase Elliott ended up winning on Sunday or running top 5 because he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to a track that he's really good at, but I'm going to go Reddick. He's just so good at road courses, and he is my pick for the foreseeable future road courses. It seems like it was always, a couple of years ago, so easy. Pick Chase Elliott. Then in 2022, pick Larson, and now Reddick has emerged. He's won 3 road courses in, the last 5 or 6 road course races. It's okay, now he's the favorite. So, and it'd be big for Reddick. He's been on a solid hot streak recently after a kind of a lull after his Coda win, so I think a win here would be big for him. Get some more playoff points. As a Bubba fan, just finish in the top 20, please. As a Bowman fan, please finish in the top 20. I've got low expectations this week, but I think they're relatively realistic. Where are you as a Denny fan? He hasn't. I've made a mistake. I said he's won at Sonoma. He hasn't. But where are you as a Denny fan going into this weekend?
I'm hopeful because he has had some good races lately, but he's also had some mistakes. So I'm hopeful. I'm going in with hope. sometimes you just get that gut that like your driver's not going to win. I have that gut like that this is not his race. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong. That'd be ideal, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, each Cup Series race day, I will wake up. I try to be a glass half full person, and I will wake up every day. And I'm always hyped for races, regardless, because I get to cover them in my own way. I'm just a NASCAR racing fan in general. But what I always say is, hey, even if it's not realistic, like I'm gonna do it Sunday. I know it's not realistic. I know it's likely not gonna happen. But I will say, okay, hey, guess what? Bubba Wallace or Alex Bowman could win this race today. That is an extra positive outlook on my day, and it's fun, just to think that, especially when you go to like Talladega or Daytona for Bubba. I'm like, hey, Bubba could win today.
Yeah.
But it's just something fun to do, something fun else to look forward to.
Yeah.
With that, I believe we have reached the end of our show. So
yeah,
Cup Preview Friday, a little different this Friday. I will schedule this to go out. Probably Friday night. And again, joint podcast, joint YouTube show. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can go listen to the Below the Line podcast. We'll have an episode out Monday to recap Sonoma. If you're listening on the podcast, we obviously will have a Monday podcast out, but we'll also have coverage for all weekend on
maybe
at
we should
Sonoma.
do this combo more often. It's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
Tell us what y'all think, viewers, listeners.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Be a lot of fun. We'll have coverage all weekend from Sonoma. Xfinity pre-race show should already be out by the time you're watching this Friday. Xfinity post-race show tomorrow. And we have some special guests coming on the podcast soon. Not exactly sure when that'll be, but we should have some special guests on here real soon. So thank you for watching, listening, like, subscribe, comment, share, rate, reply, review, email us, belowthelinepodcast@gmail.com. And that's all we have. Plenty of content coming from this weekend at Sonoma. We'll probably be watching the race on Emily's computer in the car, but you know what? That's a way I've never watched a race before. So,
add some
bucket list check off. So going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on the show again. I know it's very late, so I appreciate it.
We'll see everybody next time.
And we will see you Sunday and Monday, and I'll see you Saturday night, and going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for watching, everybody, and goodbye. Hooray. My camera inverses everything. I turned that on.
The live stream.
Oh crap! Yeah.
No one's watching, but
yeah, it's kind of. I figured I didn't think anybody would be watching that.